Hi, everyone, and welcome. Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, along with the Hall of Famer Brian Westbrook, and the Eagles turning things around very quickly this week. A Thursday night NFC East showdown against the New York Football Giants. A struggling team, Brian, at 1-3. New head coach Pat Shurmur. And how good are they?
You know what? When you look at their offense, they have some playmakers. Sterling Shepard is a playmaker. Saquon Barkley is a playmaker. Odell Beckham Jr., a playmaker. Eli Manning, in my opinion, struggles at the quarterback position, especially to throw the ball deep. But they're very vulnerable at the offensive line of scrimmage. We can get after this football team if we attack the quarterback. I also think we have to be able to get up on these receivers and not allow them to get behind us.
So it's all about what do you do against that offense where Eli Manning sees ghosts. We see anytime there's pressure in his face, he's throwing the ball away. But they still have outstanding wide receivers.
Yes.
And they can burn you. And last year, if you remember, Eli Manning had a big game against the Eagles defense up at MetLife.
Yeah, I mean, these guys can hurt you. If you don't get to Eli, don't affect him early on in the game. These guys on the outside can make or break you. And then you look at Saquon. An effective running back, a guy that can hurt you inside and outside of the tackles. He will go 2 yards, 3 yards, -1 yard, and then bust a big one. We have to be vigilant defensively. We have to be consistent in our rush lanes, and we have to make sure that every single protection, every single down, we get after the quarterback. If we do that, we have a chance in this game.
I look here, and I look at Saquon Barkley, and it's kind of a triangle. And then they had Evan Ingram, who's been banged up at tight end. And then you have Shepard and Odell Beckham. And there's probably not a better, more talented group of skill position people in the league.
Yeah, they're certainly up there.
Is that how you build an offense?
That is how you build an offense, but you have to start in the middle. They have all the talent in the world, but if the quarterback can't get the ball to those guys, which they've had problems with all season long, getting the ball to those guys, then this offense is null and void. And there's been games that I've watched where the Giants have just been bad. They can't get the ball to Saquon. They can't get the ball to Shepard as well as Odell Beckham Jr. because our offense is so bad, the offensive line is so bad. That's where we have to attack them.
Yet they went out on Sunday and they gave the Carolina Panthers a big-time scare. It took a 63-yard field goal to beat the Giants. There is a lot of ability in that offense. They're scraping and they're fighting and they're starting to score some points.
They scored some points, and this is what you see. Saquon, 13 carries, -2 yards. He had 2 big carries, 1 for 20, 1 for 30. They had a trick play. Odell Beckham Jr. catches the ball on the outside, throws the ball deep to Saquon Barkley. Nobody is within 50 yards of him. That's a touchdown right there. So they've used some trick plays. They've used some misdirection, some hand is quicker than the eye type of situations to get some scores. That's what we have to watch out for defensively.
At the top of the show, I said Giants 1-3, correction, 1-4 at the bottom of the NFC East. Let's talk about their defense because there's not much going on.
No.
With a team that only a couple of years ago, if you remember 2016, a really good defense as they went on to make the playoffs. What's happened to that defense?
They don't pressure the quarterback very well. They're on the outside. They've been very lackadaisical with their cornerbacks. And defensively, they don't have that toughness. They used to have that toughness years ago when I played. They were a nasty, tough defense that would get after people. They don't have that same type of intensity.
Brian, what's this turnaround mean? The Giants are coming from Carolina, a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Eagles coming from Philadelphia, a 4:30 game on Sunday. Who's more exhausted on Thursday at 8:20?
Both teams are exhausted. Both teams are playing on a short week. It's a division game. So one of those things where you're tired and you just kind of drag along. If it's a non-division game, it's a different situation. It's a division game. You know this team. You know Eli. You know Pat Shurmur, the head coach there. You know what they're going to try to do against you. Now it's about your will. How bad do you want this thing? If I'm the Eagles, I'm looking on the inside saying, how bad do I want this game? What am I willing to do to win this football game? And if we're willing to do and play with the heart of a champion that I know that we have, I think we'll be okay.
The Eagles are struggling, as we know here, 2-3. They lost 2 straight games for the first time since December of 2016. Struggling, yet this division is there for the taking. So the way I see it, you kind of got to just keep pace, get better, and then hit your stride in the second half of the season. Possible for this team?
Well, it is very possible. What we saw last year was a team from the first game to the 16th game, they got better every single week. A couple of weeks they made some mistakes. They figured out a way to correct those things. This year, We've made a mistake week 1. We made the same mistake week 2. We made the same mistake week 3. We have to be honest with ourselves and be able to correct some of those errors so that as the weeks go on, we're getting better and better and better. That's one thing that we haven't done this year. We have to find out a way to do that.
Yeah, big one on Thursday. It's not a must-win, but when you look at the NFC East, it's kind of a game you have to have. The Eagles have to clean up in the NFC East to win this division and host a playoff game.
That's what it's all about, winning your division. You know, home field advantage is so important. I don't know that we can get that at this point. We'll continue to play for it, but you have to have at least one home field game. That's important for this football team.
Yeah, so it's a big one on Thursday. The Eagles against the New York Giants. Brian Westbrook, Dave Spadaro, thanks for joining us on our first look.